What you are about to see is a discussion video based on the information and knowledge of the current reaction done by ArchitectCobra. Theories and ideas said in this video may be 100% wrong and may be guesses. For those of you who are lore Lances and wish to ruin the show for ArchitectCobra for giving him information that you would only get from future episodes that he has not gotten to yet, then I suggest you turn this video off now. This is not the video for you. Welcome back, everybody, to episode, I think this is 7, I always forget, yes, episode 7 of Fairy Tale Discussions. This episode, we're going to be talking about mainly episode 173 through 175, but we could discuss the entire arc up to this point as well, and like my, the thoughts on it, that sort of thing. Anyways, today joining me, we have Richard, Relululululu, and Tommy, or Justin Thompson, if his actual name, or Tommy, his YouTube name, whichever. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so, should we just jump right into it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's go.
So, episode 173, we had the Miliana and Kagura versus Leon and Yuka fight. That was pretty interesting. Going, like I said in previous discussions, going in, I had like no favorites, or no, I didn't have any idea who would win, but I had like the vague idea that Kagura would be like the victor because she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, she like does not want to get defeated very easily. But yeah, that held true. Kagura and Miliana did win.
Leon actually held his own against her, which I was actually pretty surprised about.
He did, but at the same time, he way overstepped his skill. Like, he full on thought 3 ice creatures were enough to stop Kagura, when she single-handedly in one hit KO defeated the 13th spirit, like, and just right down the whole center of the spirit. So I mean, yeah.
And he would have lost but he was saved by the bell. I think Kagura still would have won. Yeah, she obviously would have won if he wasn't stopped by the bell.
Yeah. Because he was up in like the gravity well while that was happening. Yeah. It seems interesting that Yuka had no effect on her. Because like he threw like one of his bolt things at her, right? And then did it go through her or did it miss her?
It missed her.
Okay. Because I thought because the way the angle was, it looked like it was supposed to simulate like her getting hit by it, but like, and then not affecting her, kind of thing. That's what sort of it looked like. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, it could have missed her.
I'd feel a bit weird if Kagura was a Terminator and she just allowed herself to get hit.
But it does make sense that, I mean, like, Natsu had no problem not fighting with magic against Yuka. So, like, pushing his arm through his bubble thing and then using his magic to, punch through the shield.
Yeah.
I think at this point Yuka's just a punching bag.
Yeah.
Basically.
So before they got to the Kagura bit, Miliana's fight was pretty interesting. Kagura making Miliana go in there by herself. I guess just as a test? Like, what?
Yeah.
I guess that would be a correct assumption. Yeah, I guess it's a test.
And she was doing pretty good too by herself.
She's doing alright, yeah. And I full on thought she still had the ability to like take away people's powers with her paws, like she did with Lucy. Or no, Lucy couldn't even reach her keys with that. But like, I vaguely remember that Miliana had the ability to like when the paws are on you or whatever, you have no power. Like it happened with Urza when she was in the jail. She had the paws on her and she couldn't use her magic. So I thought that was a thing, but apparently not.
I suppose
I really like that.
I suppose when it's 2-on-1, you wouldn't really have time to stop one person from using magic.
Yeah. I thought it was funny that one move that Miliana did on Yuka, that she like jumped on top of him and she was just like repeatedly punching his face.
I love that.
Yeah. And she has claws now too, which is interesting. That's a new thing.
Yeah,
she's
took off her gloves and she had like claws.
Yeah.
She's like the dog guy. I full on expected her to have like poison tips on there, like just like the dog guy from Lamia Scale, the guy with the sock.
Yeah.
Would have been funny if she had something like that too. It was pretty interesting to see her get distracted so many times by like literally cat things. Like the show was just like kept reminding us that she's a cat. Like she's like just like like every moment or every possible moment it came up to the point where like, look, she's a cat. Like like an ice mouse, the cold, and then she's going underneath a table for comedy effect. A table? Why why was there a table there?
Like it just came out of nowhere.
I think they're just making a cat joke, really.
Yeah. Just for comedic effect, yeah.
It would have been funny if there was like a magic circle and then you see the table come out from the magic circle. That would have been funny.
And then the running into the wall, that was pretty interesting too. I mean, that's pretty much like a cat thing as well too, I guess. Like if a cat's like really scared, it could run straight into a wall if it wanted to, or if it, had to, whatever. But yeah, so just like at every given point in that fight, they kept reminding us that she's a cat.
What would have been really funny is if like Leon had like a laser pointer. It was like making Miliana like follow it around.
But even with Happy in the stands, Happy was like all happy that she's a cat kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Scared of cucumbers? What? Why would she be scared of cucumbers?
Maybe.
Are cats scared of cucumbers? Is that a thing?
If you abuse an animal, probably, but hopefully there's nobody like that.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I'm gonna...
Oh, let's just go dark real quick. We'll just move on to something light and happy.
Let me just pull up this... I should have a chat thing, but I don't. Just 1 second while I get this sorted. I'm just adding a chat thing so people on the stream can see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're gonna see our secrets.
Oh no.
90% of everybody's already seen.
Why is it so squished? What the heck? Sorry, 1 second while I get this reset size. No, it's not working.
Let's quickly just went from a fairy tale chat to a discussion about whatever's happening.
Sorry,
what is happening?
There we go. Okay.
Richard.
I wanted to put up chat and it was not working for me like at all. Hello, Richard. So, yeah. So I guess we can move on. So, yeah, Miliana. I put notes here just as a reminder to myself about her not using magic at all, or her like nullifying magic kind of thing. But yeah, so the round comes to a draw, and they're both okay with it. They're like they're both fine with it.
Yeah.
I was like in that situation, I would expect at least one of them to be like, at least Kagura, like mad or something like that she didn't do it in time or that kind of thing. Yeah. But at the same time, most of the fight was Miliana trying to defeat them and everything. So yeah.
Well, it just shows how epic Kagura is.
Yeah.
Yep. She is epic.
So we had a really funny moment with Juvia wanting to hurt the members of Team Fairy Tail to gain the spot in the arena. Yeah. And I loved the bit where, that happened twice, where like it had like a slow zoom in with like the stretched out eye, like zooming into her eye, like every time she said something evil. She said like this stuff like, I'll do anything for his, to be by his side, anything! Like slow zoom to his eye. Oh gosh.
Sometimes I wonder what goes on in her head, and sometimes I think, I don't want to know what happens in her head.
Yeah, she is crazy.
That's why people love her.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is a personality people can get behind. Jesus, what are you doing, Richard? Jesus. This is all on screen too. So the next thing was
No.
Igneal. Igneal like showed up. That was incredible. He's still alive and
Yeah.
like out and about and everything. Well, we know we I guess we did see him before. We saw him in a cave and like somebody was talking to him. We've seen that.
Yeah.
So I wonder, where he is currently right now because he seemed like I don't know, probably off in the
Do you
mountains
have
somewhere
any?
or something.
Do you have any theories or ideas about like what's going on with him right now?
Okay, so I wrote down a
something?
quote. I quoted everything he said in his little appearance. He said, "White Dragon, Vice Logia, Shadow Dragon, Kiomdrom,
Skiadrum.
Yeah, drum.
yeah. Who will emerge victorious? The Dragon Slayers you raised or mine Natsu? Have the humans surpassed dragons, or is it an unobtainable dream? Soon we'll be forced to take action. The Dragon King Festival draws near." It's very interesting. So he can obviously tell that the festival is going on. Like he has some kind of idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
He can see the white dragon and shadow dragon, and he knows that they raise children as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My big theory on it was like something's going to happen with the Eclipse Gate. Oh, we saw it a little bit, like the future. It turns the moon to an eclipse, like blood red eclipse, and then or it could be a moon eclipse, not like a full moon eclipse or whatever, no moon eclipse, whatever the term. It could be that, and then like somehow, yeah, I don't know how the eclipse thing is gonna work, but we saw an eclipse, and then everything on fire, and then Levy all like, crying and trying to write what happened. So it'd be interesting to see how that came about.
Yeah.
But my big theory is maybe because like the little guy on the castle group, whatever, was talking about, we said it last discussion, the Dragon King Festival, when like they had like the big kind of portrait of the dragons and stuff, or
Yeah.
a dragon breathing fire on a wizard. So it makes me wonder, just the way the Igneal, what he was saying. He says, "Have the humans surpassed dragons, or is it an unattainable dream? Soon we will be forced to take action. The Dragon King Festival draws near." So I wonder, I don't know, just by the whole thing, it says soon we forced to take action. So that means Igneal's going to have to take action against humans for surpassing dragons. And so if White Dragon and Shadow Dragon, Sting and Rogue, if they both surpass dragons for killing their dragon, then Igneal will have to step up and do something about it. I think maybe I don't know. But the whole forced to take action bit is like really like interesting to me.
Yeah, it's like the most important part, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Soon we'll be forced to take action. The Dragon King Festival draws near. So I wonder if he's gonna show up in the Dragon King Festival. Like that's like the only time he can do it, or he just happens to fall on like a certain day that it's allowed, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting for sure. Also, we still have no idea what the Eclipse Gate is meant to do. But obviously, it's utter destruction and calamity.
Yeah.
So, just have to wait and see.
So maybe you think maybe Igneal knows like about the gate too, and like maybe he might be referring to taking action against whatever the gate is gonna.
Oh, that could be
bring.
true. It could be like
Maybe.
so unbelievably powerful that's why he said have the humans surpass dragons. It could be that, like so powerful that it could, like, destroy dragons, or like, you know, be so much more powerful than dragons that it's like a threat to them. So it could be that, yeah. That could be a thing. That could legitly be the answer, actually. It could literally be it. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, it's also interesting that he said, he talked about the two dragons that raised Sting and Rogue, and he says, who will emerge victorious? You know, the two dragon slayers are the ones, are Natsu, which, that goes back to the thing that I was saying before, that he knows what's happening in the tournament. Like, he knows that they're fighting, and he, I guess at this point, now knows that Natsu won. So it'll be interesting to see how he knows this kind of stuff. But I mean, just being a dragon, they're probably like super freaking powerful and like OP and everything, and probably have like a bunch of spells and things that are like so out of the box that we wouldn't expect right away. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Especially since we've seen Acnologia and seen his power.
Yeah,
like, we have to imagine Igneal and the others have to be like that strong too.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after that we had we had the big Natsu and Gajiel versus Sting and Rogue fight. So this was like full on like at least 2 full episodes worth of a fight. We had part of like the end section of 173, the entire bit of 174, and then half or a little bit under 175 of just that fight. Actually, I think most of 175 was a fight too, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple of I think there was 1 or 2 flashbacks in there, but apart from that, it's mostly fight.
But they weren't that long, so yeah, it was Sting. But yeah, so the fight was interesting because they had like phases. They had like the normal fight where straight out of the gate, Natsu and Gajiel just kick the crap out of Sting and Rogue. Just like ultimately just curb stomp them to the ground like at any point. I
love that scene so much, where like Natsu takes like Rogue's head and like slams it into Sting's, and then he does fire dragon attack.
He ignites his hand or whatever as he's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really awesome.
It's Natsu's way of saying "Don't fuck with me."
But it seemed like looking back at it now, it seems very likely that the reason why they went so hard out of the gate was to test Rogue and Sting's like ability to defend themselves, and like is like a test for them to see, to test their strength. And then like later on, like they're like because like later on they got up from that when they got hurt, or not, quotes hurt, when they got downed, they got back up and like started like shrugged it off, and like they were talking about how they fight and everything, like how they know that Sting, how he moves and everything. They can predict how he's gonna do it. So it makes sense that right out of the gate they test how strong they are, like in terms of defense, and then they let them wail on Natsu and Gajiel both to kind of test their attack power, and then they sort of went from there. But it's really interesting. It's interesting that we got to see a little bit of Sting's and Rogue's abilities. Of course, not all of their abilities, but we did see quite a bit of them. We saw like a couple. Oh, Sting did a secret art ability. I'm trying to think if Rogue did. Can't remember if Rogue did.
Don't think Rogue did. Rogue was kind of more of a.
If you count the big,
it's just there to fill in Gajiel's fight scenes.
If you count the Unison raid, would that be one of those like secret art things? Like that laser they kind of made.
I mean, doesn't Natsu have multiple secret arts too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably have a couple as well, I would think.
Yeah. But usually they say, like, Dragon Slayer secret art kind of stuff, or...
Yeah.
But I don't remember if they said that when they did the Unison raid.
I think Unison raid does count as a secret art. I think it's just fusion.
Yeah. So just both their beams kind of slammed together to make a more powerful beam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was phase 1 out of the gate, was just them fighting, and then phase 2 was Sting and Rogue activating drive power. That's what I'm calling it. They both activated their white drive and shadow drive mode, which is very interesting. I wonder if at some point Natsu's going to get that, or is that some sort of like 3rd generation power up kind of thing? It would be interesting to see if Natsu and Gajo have that sort of ability at one point. Like, fire mode, or fire mode, or flame drive, or something like that. Yeah. I guess Natsu constantly has a mode like that where he just like bursts into flames and just like does stuff. So never mind. I guess Natsu has it too.
Yeah.
I guess Gajo has like his iron skin that he does.
Oh yeah.
So I guess that could be his drive or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so then we move on to 174, which was the entire episode was the entire fight. So there's the awesome moment where they activated their drive powers, Sting and Rogue do, and then both Natsu and Gajo both have separate moments of like times where they start fighting back and they start winning. So like with Gajo, he's fighting Rogue in shadow mode, and he's like a shadow, like he can't hit him. And then all of a sudden, Rogue comes behind him, behind Gajo, and then he just like grabs his arm, and then it's like, oh, what? Are you surprised or something like that? That was a really awesome.
So moment. I gotta say something about that scene. I think I heard the most cringiest line of dialogue in fairy tale history. I think it was Jet who said it, Jet or Joy. But once Gajo did that, it like immediately cut the Jet, and then he said,
like a boss.
Yeah.
I noticed that too.
Oh, that was horrible.
He's like a boss.
I was like, no.
It's like, oh god. Yeah. The dialogue between the fairy tale members, like whenever they're doing well, is always interesting. But like they cut to the fairy tale gang, and they're like just talking. They say little things here and there. Poor Lily, man. Poor Lily. He died.
R.I.P.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lily. He straight up died. It's really funny to see, like you can see like gradually like the moments of like of stress, or whatever that that Levy was going through. Like at first, like he was Lily was right in front of Levy, and then it cut back later, and she was holding him, and then it cut back later, and then she was like kind of like wrestling a little bit with his head, and then it cut back later, and he's like passed out dead pretty much. And then it cuts back later, he's fine, like on the thing again. But it was funny how to see like it kept cutting back to them, and he's like at different modes of like. I don't know, it was really funny.
Like progressively getting worse.
Yeah. And then the other moment with Natsu was when Sting put that kind of stun circle on Natsu's chest, and then thinking it's the stigmata, and then thinking it's gonna stick there, he like starts charging at him to hit him, but he burns it off, or like instantly like recovers. It was a very, very cool moment. Like I said, those two were like those two moments that even in their drive mode, it's showing that Natsu and Gajo are still stronger in their normal forms than their drive mode. So it made them going to Dragon Force mode, which is really interesting. There's the 3rd generation Dragon Slayers, so they're so above second generation, the Lacrimas like Loxus, that they can just go in Dragon Force mode like at will. I guess Loxus did at one point, just at will.
Yeah.
So, and Cobra, I guess too, if you count his dragon arms coming out, or his arms turning into dragons. So, I guess that's just a normal second generation dragon thing.
Don't you just love how all the Dragon Slayers, apart from when Natsu's introduced and when Wendy's introduced, all the Dragon Slayers are dicks when you first see them.
That's
Runs
true.
in the Dragon Slayer blood. Just as soon as you meet another Dragon Slayer, you just have to be a dick, unless you're Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wendy seems like a very. Well, she shares Natsu's like what's the term? She shares his like curiosity and kind of naive sense. Because like multiple times out, Carla always yells at Wendy for like going along with Natsu, like his like thought process. So it's funny to see Wendy kind of share that, but at the same time not share anything else. She's not a fighter. She's not. I guess she's a fighter now, but she's not big into fighting. She's a healer. She's everything not Natsu until it gets to the point of like of just like small little traits like that, like they share as just being Dragon Slayer. The only thing that Wendy does not share with other Dragon Slayers is the sickness with moving objects. That's like a thing that Wendy doesn't get, because like we were saying in like a previous discussion, it seems like she just has like that spell she casts on Natsu like just running through her veins like constantly. So like she just can be anywhere without it affecting her.
And she also doesn't have Dragon Force either. Every other dragon has one, but her.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. When you were mentioning a thought process that Natsu had, what thought process are you talking about?
Well, I mean the way the way he comes up with ideas and stuff. A perfect example is when they were trying to figure out what the Pisces gate was going to look like, and they were going through like Urza was saying it's going to be a fish man, half fish head, body, whatever, and then it went to Gray saying that the fish sharks look two little sharks, and then Natsu had like a jelly face man with like a pirate robe on and like all that stuff. When he thought that up, Wendy was full on like with it. She's like, oh yeah, and then like someone near it was like, don't go along with him, like like just don't that kind of thing. Like that's a good example of what Wendy sort of does sometimes. She Natsu thinks up of like a crazy thing, idea or whatever, and then Wendy's like right there next to him going like, oh yeah, that makes sense, like without like a second thought. She just like instantly like goes along with it. So
I guess it could be that she just like really looks up to him, maybe.
That could be true too. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's a kick-ass. I mean, who wouldn't want to look up to him? Apart from all the haters.
Forgot to scroll down.
Actually, I can't remember if we talked about it last discussion or not. I mean, it's been a long time since I've slept, so. But Cobra, what did you think of Rogue questioning the fact of their guild?
I still really like that. I hope since they lost the match, we saw a little bit of their master like really mad in the stands. Like we got to see his eye. It cut to him in the stands, and some people were saying this guy's gonna explode, and it looks like he's just like powering up, like he's just going like so mad. So I don't know. I have a feeling, or I have the idea, or whatever, that they could get kicked out after the games. Something like that. And if they do, I really hope that they join Fairy Tail, because then Fairy Tail has like
6 Dragon Slayers.
Yeah. So it would be awesome. they would be legitimately the most powerful guild, like without a doubt. Like 6 Dragon Slayers and like all these other S-class wizards, and like they'll be unstoppable.
Yeah,
it would be awesome. But yeah, so going back to the fight, seeing them at will just turn into Dragon Force mode was really interesting. But more so, Sting going 1v2 by himself was interesting as well, because he's a lot quicker, but at the same time, Natsu and Gaiju were just testing him. Like, they were fine. Like, all his strikes that he did, all the attacks and like major stuff that he did to Gaiju and Natsu did nothing. They just shrugged it off. So even in their Dragon Force mode, it wasn't enough to. I mean, it could have damaged them a little bit, but it didn't hurt them enough to stay down. They did that, I guess, for just effect. I don't know why they stayed down for so long. But,
right.
But they did, and they got up and shrugged it off like nothing, and like Natsu was like messing with his shoulder, like he's shrugging it off. So, the hype on them getting up, that was so like, it seemed unnecessary, like for real. But if you knew that. I don't know. It had that kind of feel like, that kind of like, the power of friendship kind of stuff. Like, just root for them and they'll get up, sort of thing. But at the same time, they were fine the whole time. Like, they weren't like it wasn't life threatening. They weren't like dying or anything. But yeah, it just seemed very unnecessary for the amount of hype. Every single character in Fairy Tail had to say something about getting up. All the Photo Legion, like Levy and like Trenton Troy, and then like the Master, and then like all the cats, and every single character in Fairy Tail had to say something on the fact that they should get up. Like, and Happy was very adamant too. He was like kind of like tearing up. Or whatever, saying like get up kind of thing. And I love the flashbacks that we got to see a little bit about Happy in like the walkway towards the arena by himself, like or Happy and Natsu. Like that was a really cool moment. And Natsu and Lucy as well. That was a really cool moment too. But yeah, so Natsu and Gaiju kind of shrugged it off. All that stuff. I'm kind of like running by my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. They get up and Natsu pushes Gaiju into the minecart after like a little fight, and pushes Gaiju down like the hole or whatever. That we later find out that he's like in a cave, like a big old cave thing. So we'll get to that at the very end. All my thoughts on that. We're almost there too. So, but yeah, so Natsu fights 1v2 against Rogue, Sting and Rogue. I guess it doesn't matter what order they go in. It could be Rogue Sting or Sting Rogue. Hello, Justin.
Hello. I just got back from helping my friend work on her computer.
Oh gosh. We are currently recording, so just to let you know.
Okay.
So yeah, Natsu going 1v2 was amazing. Just seeing him block, like he's just like sitting there like with his hands like blocking all the attacks and like throwing Sting and Rogue to all the 4 corners of the pit that they were in, just like wrecking them, just like tossing them like ragdolls and everything. And then I guess that. And then it cuts to the next episode where they sort of have the final kind of the final battle, I guess, with Sting and Rogue, and like all the hype around that too was pretty interesting too. I mean, I that much was like okay, because like it was like life, like they were doing a unison raid on Natsu, so it was like that was a good hype moment. But the other moment when they were like on the ground, that was a little unnecessary. The amount of effort they put into hyping that moment up. Anyways, Sting and Rogue did the unison raid, combining powers. to like do like a beam attack thing at Natsu, and then him just doing his secret art, exploding or Dragon Slayer's secret art, something exploding flame blade or something like that.
Like Flame Lotus exploding.
Yeah, there we go.
Exploding flame blade.
But I feel like there was might be
Crimson Lotus, maybe.
Maybe Crimson Lotus. I think.
There we go. Yeah, Crimson Lotus, Crimson
Lotus exploding flame blade. I believe.
Yeah.
That move.
So many words.
Yeah, we've seen him do that before.
Yeah.
So, but it was like way more powerful this time because they ripped through the beam as they were like shooting it back at him.
It actually made the shape of a phoenix or something looking thing too. It made the shape of a bird for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you love how he didn't even need his lightning for that or Dragon Force?
I know, right? I full on expected him.
I'm just gonna rub it in.
I full on had a theory about him at the very end doing another big lightning flame dragon roar. So like the fight with the Grimoire Heart Master, like that level of power, like just ripping through the hull of the ship and like having this humongous beam across the sky. Like I full on expected him to do that at the very end to defeat Sting the Rogue. But he didn't. He never did any kind of lightning mode. He never had to at this. It seemed like he never had to go into that mode to fight him.
Not even Dragon Force either.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you feel like after that match that Sting and Rogue were overhyped.
They were definitely overhyped.
They were definitely overhyped. Well, I mean, to be fair, Natsu and Gaiju never had it, but Natsu does have his second origin unlocked. So he does have like a ton more power than he originally had, which he went toe to toe with Loxus before before he got second origin. So and like he almost defeated. Well, I mean, it's up in the air if he actually almost defeated Loxus or not, but he went toe to toe with Loxus. And then, now he has second origin unlocked and everything, so he's a lot more stronger. So it makes sense that he is way more powerful than the Sting and Rogue are, because their Dragon Slayer is true, and they have their Lacrimas in them. That's also true, but they don't have second origin unlocked, and it's just like a next step of power, like for Natsu. Yeah. Natsu wins it for Fairy Tail, and we got to see like the final scores. Fairy Tail's in the lead.
Yeah, they made that epic comeback.
Yeah,
so
by 1 point. They're winning by 1 point.
Yeah, and then I believe like really after that, all we got to see is we got to see him go tell Lucy and talk to Lucy for a few.
Yeah,
and then we got more ominous stuff with Levy in the future.
Yeah, so that was the after credit bit.
It was?
The
whole thing was the after credit bit, or were they both?
Or I guess one thing that I forgot to mention was, Jalal did chase down the mystery person that has like Zeref's powers or whatever, or that's very reminiscent of Zeref. So Jalal chases down the person. It turns out to be a girl, and we didn't get to see who it was. So I mean, there's no hint at all.
To be fair, we did get to see Jalal go like uber shock mode. Like he was like, "No way!" and then it goes off.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that could be anything. Like, is it a past person that he knows? Is it like something like that? I don't know.
I think it's someone he knows.
Yeah, it's up in the air right now. But and then so going back to the placements of everything. So Fairy Tail's in first place with 45 points. Sabretooth in second with 44 points, like 1 point below. Mermaid Heel and Lamia Scale are both tied for third. And then Blue Pegasus is fourth, and Quattro Puppy is fifth with 15 points. It's hilarious that they got only 15 so far. But it makes sense, because they keep losing.
Yeah, I love how like that 1 point came back to like bite Sabretooth in the butt.
Exactly.
And Gaiju just has to rub it in.
Yeah.
Well, he rubbed it in
during the event where they had
He's remembering a cutscene. He's remembering a flashback.
Yeah. Then the second day event, or was it the chariot race? When he said that, yeah.
Sting was like, it's okay, I'll just let you guys have this when it's no big deal, it's 1 point. And then guys are like, 1 point's no point to scoff, is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. And it's true. That 1 point made him the winner right now. And everybody in the entire arena, even the other members, are now gunning for Fairy Tail. They're like at the very end there everyone was saying they want a piece of Fairy Tail now that they're winning.
Let's be real. Does Ichio really think he can take Natsu? Because that last line when he's talking about
one doesn't miss with Ichio.
I know he did ironically somehow. I don't know how one-shot an S-class wizard, which I still question the logic of, but it's okay.
Ichio, he's a badass. You just don't.
But yeah, so then after the credits, which I still have to watch the intro outro. Still, it's on the list to watch. Darkwood forgot to put it on the list, so I didn't watch it because I didn't know if it was okay or not to watch it because he didn't put it on the list. But yeah, he forgot to put it on the list. So Wednesday's episode tomorrow, I'll be watching those before the episodes. Anyways, so after credit scene, we saw Gajul in the cave. That cave's huge, like huge, with like a cave, like a minecart system, like all the way through the whole cave system. There's like buildings and stuff down there, and then we find out that there's a bunch of dragon bones down there. Like, what the heck's happening? It's really interesting, and I have no idea like what to even think about it. Yeah, it could lead into the Dragon Festival thing too, maybe, but I don't know.
Like maybe that's where they put like after the Dragon King Festival from like years past, all the dead dragons, they just like, I don't know, toss them in there or something.
Yeah, that's true, probably, yeah. But at the same time, like, aren't Dragon Slayers the only one that could defeat dragons?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Dragon Wars. Dragon versus Dragon. Like, those are the ones that died. I don't know. So yeah, then we saw a shot of Yukino. She's. It seems like she got pulled into the project. I said baited into it. Like, it seems like they kind of gave her the position just because they want her close by, or something like that. I don't know. They really want both Yukino and Lucy. So it makes sense that they want, if they do want, Yukino, to keep her close by and not away somewhere.
I thought it was interesting that Yukino, like, she believes that what the Colonel is doing is like good, that he's like actually trying to save the world with what he's doing.
Yeah, I wonder I wonder if she's getting the wrong information, or something like they made it seem like, or they told her just information to get her like excited about it, and like not the full story kind of stuff. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna jack your keys from you, and then like open a giant death machine thing gate to destroy the world. Like, I doubt they're gonna tell that to her. Or like, we're gonna do the same thing with Lucy, your semi acquaintance friend person. I wouldn't say, I don't know. I don't know if they're actually friends, but at this point, I mean, anybody that talks to Fairy Tail are friends. So, and then we get to see Jalal with the girl. We get the slight sort of reveal in question marks of the girl, and that Jalal is shocked by it. So that's all we see. We never got to see the face. We never got to see any kind of hints on who it is. It's a pretty cool cloak, though, that she has, the girl. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Zeref, but like, I don't remember what his outfit looks like. It reminded me of Zeref, that's for sure.
Zeref's got like a black kind of cloak that goes round with like a white,
like a toga.
Yeah,
he has like a toga.
Oh yeah.
I need to make a prediction right now, guys.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. At the end of the show, when it's completely over, Ichi is the end villain.
So Ichi.
God damn it.
Ichi did the whole entire thing.
So up to this point in the show, from like the beginning of the show to this point now, what do you guys think of the show in its like entirety up to this point?
It's great.
Is it getting better throughout? Is it like doing that kind of stuff? I like to get your guys' opinion on that.
I would personally like to say it most definitely gets better and better and better and better. Kind of like Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, got anything to say?
Rellu, do you want to go first?
I think it was Tommy that was going.
You can go.
Am I the only one that likes Yukino as a character?
I like her.
I mean, I don't know why, but I like her more than Lucy. That's saying something.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe I just have a thing for white-haired chicks.
So you like Lizana too?
Shh.
I like Yukino. She's cool.
I have mixed. Yeah.
We have nothing to hate her yet, so.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I couldn't even give a response on Yukino at this point because of the fact that, based off currently what we've gotten, we got one fight with her, an exile of her getting kicked out of the guild while being forced to strip.
Yeah.
I mean, that did a lot for her character, obviously.
A lot.
And then being hired by someone who we've been led to believe, based off what he is doing, to be the bad, shady dude.
Yeah.
So far, my impressions of her, based off what we see here, is she lost the match, she got kicked out of guild, and she fell for a trap to join some bad guy. These are all negative things on very powerful levels. Her character-wise, she seems nice. Other than that, I can't really say much yet. In terms of the show overall and what we've seen up to this point, I personally think it's gotten better. There's been some arcs that I could do without. Like, not arcs, I guess that's strong. Most of the arcs were okay. It's more so like some of the people in the arcs I can do without. But other than that, yeah, I think it gets better and better with each arc, minus some characters that are introduced.
Cool.
Yeah, I think definitely like in the first season that you've seen, for me personally, Tenrajima, that whole arc was like the high point of season 1.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like I don't. Tenro Island.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And Edalus personally isn't really my favorite, but besides that, I would say pretty much all Fairy Tail arcs up to this point have been pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. It's going back to like my opinion on like the way arcs have been going. Like, every arc has been always like some sort of like world-ending event, like that sort of thing. But the Tenro Island arc didn't start that way, and it never ended, or it ended that way, like a little bit. But just the island in general wasn't world-ending. Not like the Starry Skies arc, where like the whole world was in danger. What else? Freaking Deliora being revived. That sort of thing. Like big like world-changing events.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, at the Tenrojima Island thing, if you think about it, I mean, we did get to meet Mr. Black Dragon. I mean, he could be, if he felt like he could be considered. I mean, the way Guild Arts was hyping him up to be a crazy foe, he could have been a thing that could be a world-changing event in a sense. But
he is a dragon, so I mean, just him being a dragon is like
a
thing. But there are other dragons, so.
But I mean, I don't know. The Black Dragon just speaks. Run for your life. That's all I hear from that.
But see, like I said, that was at the end of the arc, like the last 2 episodes of the arc. The entire arc was based around the S-Class trial, so.
Well,
Yeah.
And then in a way it was sort of against Grimoire Heart, because they were like attacking the island. So the arc was mostly focused on that until the very end that Acnologia showed up. So
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So I gotta ask.
Everyone's talking at one time. Go for it. What are you talking about?
Oh, wait up first. So I just did a Google search and I found the most hilarious ship name. It's called Sheath Shipping, and it's Kagura and Rogue, and that's because during the whole GMG arc we saw them carrying around a sword, and
true.
neither of them are
Oh. I was gonna say that since you've asked us, what was kind of like your favorite arc of this entire first season, Cobra?
I like the Tenro Island arc a lot. I liked the Battle for Fairy Tail arc too. With Loxus being the bad guy kind of person. It was interesting how the way that whole arc played out. Like the sort of like I was saying, like he was blind to like his he was blind to the fact that he wanted to make Fairy Tail better. So he wanted to like make it better by becoming the master. The whole arc had like a lot of good, cool moments and like interesting ideas and all that stuff. I'd probably say the Battle for Fairy Tail is my favorite. I'd say Tenro Island because it was more focused on the S-Class trial, and becoming an S-Class wizard, and like all these different kind of trial things to kind of determine who would be the best. I like that aspect of that arc. The Grimoire Heart like battle seemed, I don't know, it seemed like stuff that we've seen already, sort of thing. We're gonna see like the Ration Seis, and just previous other like kind of dark guilds sort of like battles. We've seen that before, so it wasn't like that new. But the S-Class trial, that was interesting and like new, and like it was really cool to see. But that being said, it wasn't like bad that the Grimoire Heart was there. That didn't like not make the arc good at all because they're there. It was a good arc nonetheless. But I loved the S-Class trial bit of the arc a lot.
Well, Cobra, honestly, based off your channel art here, I can obviously tell you your favorite arcs were anything involving Mystigan, Cobra, Cubelios, or Mavis. Obviously, I mean they're on your channel art. I mean obviously they fit your favorite arcs. Obviously,
they are indeed.
I think it's more or less his favorite characters. Doesn't really mean it's his favorite. I guess it could be his favorite arc.
And it's me joking. I'm messing with the fact that those are your favorite characters. That's all.
Yeah.
Alright, I've got another prediction for you guys. I'm just gonna throw this down on the table. If anyone wants to, be with me on the hype train, we can.
Oh, we were on the hype.
At some point in the future, Ichiya will have a guild full of Ichiya lookalikes.
God.
Please give this to me. Please give this to me, hero. Please.
What are we gonna have, Ichiya babies next?
If they
yes.
Jesus.
10 of them.
If that becomes a thing, that's when I will actually stop watching Fairy Tail, because any episode with that in it, I will skip. I'm skipping any episode with any of that in it.
Hero's gonna watch one of these one day and be like, "Oh my god, I can have a filler full of Ichiyas."
Oh no.
The longest 40-episode filler arc full of Ichiya.
40 episodes, Jesus Christ.
Hero's gonna be like, "I bet Ichiya didn't see that coming."
Oh god. Bad pun. Bad pun.
No.
It's like Yang there for a second. It was like
I was gonna make a Nietzsche pun, but it doesn't work.
But yeah, overall, I highly enjoyed the first season. And it's interesting that they have 175 episode season.
Well, no, actually, that's not the case. Like, I don't remember if I told you this, but This is actually considered series 1, but in terms of season, this was 6 seasons right here. I even looked it up. This was 6 seasons.
They did have the DVDs were all separate in different seasons. That's right. Okay.
There's 6
gave up.
seasons, and the next series is all of season 7. All of it's season 7.
Series 1.
I gave up and just listed as season 1 with like 7 or 8
That's
arcs.
that's fundamentally incorrect, but I will let you have that, sir. But technically, it's
Don't get fundamental with me.
I will, sir. You
I
want to
will
go?
bring in my never-ending, completely unreliable logic and just mess this whole thing up.
I'll use logic slaying secret art.
I will use
Okay.
non-logical slaying secret art.
Ooh.
I think the funny thing is, Cobra, is that that we waited like a year just to get the second season because
my God, Richard.
it took a year off, and now you just had to wait like a couple days, and now you're jumping right into season 2.
Or not even a day. I'll be watching it tonight. Before upload.
I mean, to be honest, he'll get to feel some weight because once he catches up, once they double that's available and he catches up, he'll be waiting. I think it will still be on hiatus, to be honest, because it's on hiatus again. After all, I mean,
because this hiatus isn't going to be like a long
God
time. It's for hiatus.
That picture.
Yep.
What the heck?
Richard's just doing the whole Ichi and Ichi shit. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
If I shoot anything, for me, I mean, it's probably, of course, it's not going to happen, but it's going to be Natsu and Yukino.
Natsu and Yukino?
That's an interesting ship I've never heard of.
Ichiya x Ichiya. It's so mad.
Get your Ichi out of here.
Also, Dark Wolf let me know that one of my Q&A video that I put out earlier last week, or like, weekend, whatever, last weekend, I said, what is it? The ship name was Nalu, someone was asking about, and I said it was, who did I say? I think I said it was, Nazi and Natsu and Lazana. I think I said it. Mistook it as the Nalu, but Nalu is Natsu and Lazana. Or no, Lucy. Sorry, Natsu and Lucy is Nalu. Nali is Lazana, which makes sense because their name. But yeah, for some reason my brain just said Lazana for Lu, which is interesting. The ship names are always weird sometimes. Especially for Ruby ship names, like you'd have to like do research on like why that name made sense for that ship name. But in the end, it does make sense. But Fairy Tail's ship names are more like, part of the character's name and then like another part of the character's name. In Ruby, it's like style of combat, like, and then like color of the person, that kind of thing. Like it's such a weird combination of things, but. Yeah, at least Fairy Tail's ship names are like kind of very easy to kind of understand and like.
Okay. I'm gonna ask calmly for someone to stop linking them Ichiya pictures because you're getting fucking.
It's Richard. If I could ask anything from the viewers, it's please make a fan photo or like a fan story or fanfic of Justin X Wendy.
Don't be putting that up on the internet, man. That's not even something. I don't even what.
It needs to
man.
feature Ichiya.
This pic is just for you.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh God.
Do you have any Ichiya Wendy pictures?
God.
I'm so done.
My soul is dying out
as
this goes on.
Out of all the characters we know about in Fairy Tail so far up to this point, who is your favorite character?
Ichiya.
Not too surprising.
Mary Jane.
Nice.
My brain's just taking a moment to process. Hold on.
I have to think about this.
You could pick like 2 or 3 if it makes it better. Like if you have like 2 or 3 like high class people, then
obviously one of them is
Kagura.
Kagura. Yeah.
Kagura's
I'm,
cool.
I'm kind of mixed between Kagura and Rogue. Oh my god.
Wait, we can have 3? That's it. Wait, can we have 3? Because that'd be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes it easy. Oh my god, Richard, where are you finding all these?
If you stop looking at your pictures, I am begging you now. Anyway, Mary Jane, Lucy, and
come on, you know you're gonna say Wendy. Do it.
No, I wasn't gonna say Wendy. You can shut the fuck up, fam. No.
Damn it, Richard.
No, it'd be like
we don't.
It's in between like probably Kagura and Urza because they're both pretty much I don't know. They're both kind of look are similar to me. So it's like
wait, who?
Yeah, Kagura and Urza are like are tied for my 3rd favorite.
Jeez, I didn't know everyone loved Kagura.
Kagura's
Kagura's
a badass and she doesn't take shit.
Yeah. And she one-shots the 13th Zodiac Gate Key. I mean, why not?
Almost one-shots everybody else on that note.
Yeah, including Leon, but time was called off. You got lucky.
Like, he would get,
I think mine is
judging by where her sword was,
Gray.
Headshot.
Kagura Gray.
God, Richard. We don't need
communism.
Yeah, Gray's starting to kind of. Well, I mean, he has been sort of like, sort of in the way of Natsu, in the way of power, where he's just slowly kind of growing over time. At this point, I don't know. I'd have to say I'd probably if like Natsu and Gray both had like a legit one-on-one like death battle, like worthy fight, like I full on would believe that Natsu would win.
Yeah.
But like Gray's like up there, like in power, like he's starting to get up there, like he's throughout the whole season he's kind of grown in power with Natsu.
Yeah.
Because of the whole fact that like they're kind of like rivals in a way, but like they're still buddies. But yeah, it's a good character.
I just had a really big thought process that kind of just exploded my brain. What would happen if there was a ship for Natsu and Flare?
Naffle?
You know what?
Flare suit.
Naffle.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Naffle.
Nair. Nair. Yeah.
Why are you?
Yes, Richard. The HS spam is all over. You survived the apocalypse.
Flezu. It's Flezu, like that kind of thing. Yeah. But then if you go to like it's going back to like the Ruby ship names, like you can go like because like Natsu's part of fire, Flare's part of fire, so you can go like Burning Rage or like that's how vague like Ruby ship names are. It's like Burning Flare is like is like a proper ship name for Ruby characters. Yeah, it's really interesting. Oh god. That freaking image.
He stayed perfectly sane for all of them, and that one just caught him off. It's true.
Yeah, it's very true.
Sorry, I'm seeing these, and I have to throw it as I see it. It's just.
Look, you don't have to, but you're doing it anyways.
It's part of my soul.
Oh no. What is he?
So yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to cut it off this episode. We had a lot of really cool stuff happen in this group of episodes. I think my favorite part in these groups were probably like we'll probably have to be like Natsu sort of like going 1v2 Sting Rogue in Dragon Force mode, like.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the command that he wrote like on his fingers in fire.
Yeah.
Like that scene. Yeah.
Well, we know he can like he knows how to make objects, or not make objects, but make his fire solid. To help him, sort of thing. Like in the Lullaby arc, he he learned that to like, the big old flame fist or hand that came up and like grabbed the rail and brought him up. So like he kind of knows that ability now, thanks to what's his Wakaba, or no, Wakaba's the other one. Shoot, who's the fourth master?
Macau.
Macau, there we go. Macau taught him that as a kid, but he didn't learn it until he needed it. He like remembered that he had to do it, or he could do it. But yeah, this series, Fairy Tail, all the way up to this point, very good. There's not a lot of episodes that I can think of off the top of my head which were bad, which is good. There's not like bad episodes. There's some like situations that seem a little weird, but I can't remember them off my top of my head. But I remember there have been episodes that I've said in my reaction that have been weird. Like
the one that comes to mind is the Bajiggle Yang for sure.
Well, that's just a character, yeah. But I mean, like in terms of plot, like some plot is sort of like it makes you go like, huh, kind of thing. But I can't remember which ones. But I know that I've had said that before. But yeah, all in all, the show is still great, and I'm looking forward to watching a lot more. And so
you're still got a bit to go.
Yeah. I think I still have up to like something like 200 and something episodes on my hard drive right now, so I'll have to double check to make sure where the dub is currently, so that way I can get all the episodes on my computer before I do the reaction, because I don't want to do a reaction while I'm on the like looking through the episodes on the website, because then I have to go back to finding like the exact date or the exact times to skip ahead to. I find that kind of annoying to do all that, especially for Dark Wolf, because Dark Wolf does it all the time. Or he's done it. He's done it for me. He did like something like 60 episodes doing that, like finding the points to skip to. And Justin knows this from doing the Fate Zero episodes for me. The exact points to skip the intro. Because they're not DVD quality, so there's no skip points. They you have to know the exact points to skip. So, but yeah, can't wait to see more. I have to catch up and make sure I get all the episodes. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Rilu, Richard, Justin, and Tommy for joining me. And we will see you guys. And sure, why not? And each oh god. I just scrolled down to see what the latest ones were. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. It depends on how well it goes. Sometimes there's not enough people to kind of justify an episode, so we combine them. That sort of thing. So hopefully tomorrow, Wednesday, we can get together, discuss the next 3 episodes. If not, then it'll be Friday when we do the next one. We do 6 episodes or whatever like that. So we have all weekend to kind of plan out when to do this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next episode. See ya.
Bye.